Yo, what's good? Welcome to another episode of the Trap Advisor. It's your favorite neighborhood stoner, Poncho Gas, man. And I got a special guest in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself, my man.
Yo, what's going on? This is Tony with Slactavis out here doing it up. Famous RSO syrup. How we doing today?
Doing really well, my guy. Very well, man. Team Slack brought us some good slack in the building, man. Shout out. Whole bunch of flavors.
That's how we do it.
All right, man. So for the people who don't know who you are, man, can you tell us about Slactavis a little bit?
So my name's Anthony. Tone Talks on Instagram. We've been doing Slactavis for about 10 years, and now I'm a partner in Slactavis, and we're out here in Vegas and trying to spread it to the people that are out here and really push hard on education for RSO, which is Simpson Oil. For the people that don't know what it is.
For the people in the back, that Simpson Oil, that RSO, will get you right, man. Heals all pain. I mean, I won't say heal, but it does a good job against pain, and even known to be good against cancer or whatever ailments you might have, bad ones, man. Shout out to Rick Simpson for real. All right, so what brought you into the cannabis universe?
Oh man. So it's about going on my 11th year now, and shout out to Tunes from Extravaganza, a cannabis show that's out in LA. I'm not originally from Vegas. I'm from Cali, great state out there.
Shout out to Cali.
Got the best weed,
Mm-hmm.
And so I started doing. I was doing private security at the time, and got connected with Extravaganza, and we just vibed out. Became their booth liaison. So I really got networked with a lot of people in the industry, from growers, people who do ancillary brands and whatnot. And I met up with Slactavis. Shout out to Dr. Brokeleg.
Dr. Brokeleg. Okay, well, tell us about that. How'd you meet Dr. Brokeleg?
I was helping them out at the show, making sure that they were all good, just like I would do with all the folks. And I really liked what he was doing. Started really like learning more about RSO, and I wanted to be a part of it. And so he had me join his team, and his rest is history after that.
So he's the one that came out. That's the owner of Slactavis?
Yeah, he is the owner, and now I'm partnered with him.
In Vegas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Hell yeah. All right, man. So was it a specific moment where you realized, like, dang, I gotta like get into this game? Like, what happened?
I'm gonna be honest. Everything happened pretty naturally, so that's why I think that it kind of works out for me, because it wasn't something I was really looking for. I've always been and known and loved business. And I've always thought, like, once I knew about business and knew that I had a knack for it, I was like, man, you can get into any field, any that you want, and when you're in business, medical, whatever it may be. And I just happened to fall into cannabis, and I know that I'll always be in cannabis, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you got to have a passion for it.
You have to, and I've said it before to a lot of people that you have to really cater to the people that love the plant, but you also have to have a business background where you can actually kind of scale things, and it takes the right kind of people to put that together. You know what I mean? And when you can have somebody who loves the plant and somebody who knows business, and they can create that marriage, then it's perfect. You know what I mean? But then you have people like ourselves, like yourself as well, where you understand the plant, you understand the culture, but you understand as well that we need to get people into these stores, so that way we help out these dispensaries, buy our products.
Yeah, man, they need trap advisors at all the dispensaries, to let them know how to really let it flow. All right, well, what's a normal day in the life for Tony Slactavis, man? What we doing?
So, man, we get up and make sure that we try to get a little routine going with some workout and everything, because we want to make sure that we keep, ourselves healthy and keep our minds clear. Just like we see you, I'd be up like, man, on my Instagram, sometimes I see you working out. I'm like, all right, it's time to get up. You know what I mean?
That's important. I mean, you really like working out ain't even like a thing about like it's a thing for the future, to prepare your body for the future, because every year that you age is you lose muscle, and it's just if you don't keep working out, like it's probably gonna be a bad luck. You're gonna be confined in the wheelchair, or have to use a cane or something when you could have easily avoided that just going to the gym. You don't even got to go crazy. You can just go like a
Get
few
a walk
times.
in, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just got to keep the body active, but also you just got to, just stay consistent. I feel like a lot of people, even though now you see a lot more people getting on it, and it's a lovely thing. I
Eh,
can't even say nothing bad about it. There's a lot more people, including me, that just get up into jail. I don't know what happened. We just get up in there.
Hey, well, I think the Christ consciousness, like we like to call it, you know what I mean, on this side is starting to collectively unite with everybody, and people are starting to be like,
Hey.
all right, you know what I mean? Talk about some third eye stuff on the
I
pod.
like that. I like that a lot. But before we go into the super echelon route about that, what for somebody that's known, want to know about Slactavis for the people for the first time, can you tell us what that is about? What is this? What is this? Slactavis.
So Slactavis, a lot of Las Vegas people starting to get on the trend, and a lot of places are starting to do tastings. At shout out to Suma and Pinches Tacos for having us out there for their event. Uh, we really want to push again what Simpson Oil is and RSO. It's a full spectrum product. So a lot of these distillates and things that you're going to be taking are going to be, kind of one spectrum based, but, with the full spectrum, like our Rick Simpson oil, which we're kind of considered a tincture, we want to bring a different delivery system to people, because I guess the syringe looks scary. I get that. But you're also, having to deal with the tar and all that. We've, created a different delivery system for people so that way they can take RSO easier, a easier way to dose it, and kind of in a better tasting way, so you can put it into any drink or take it straight.
Okay. I like that a lot because I believe that when you take it that way, it probably is the fastest way when you drink it.
Mhm.
And the RSO.
Yeah.
It's usually like with the you can with the stuff in the syringe, you can take it under your tongue.
Yes, sir. But it becomes hard too because you don't know how much you're putting out, and a lot of people will get paranoid, and you don't want to get them to have a bad experience on their first time using cannabis or their first few times, because then they're not going to want to go back to it. Which I think that CBD is a great catalyst, and it's kind of a shame what's going on right now. But we're just gonna have to keep on pushing in the right direction, so that way we can keep on educating people again and letting them know what cannabis can do for them. And like I said, having it to the point where people are, using CBD, and then they're like, "Oh, you know what? Well, maybe I'll use this now because now I learned a little bit more about this." And you know, our endocannabinoid system runs all of our other systems in our body to create homeostasis. So it's very important that we use it.
Oh yeah. You know what's really wild about the endocannabinoid system is that you don't even need weed for the receptors to
Be activated.
yeah.
You could work out. I don't know if you know this fun fact. Women's breast milk, when they're feeding their children, it actually has cannabinoids in it without the women using cannabis or anything like that, because it's something that naturally produces in the body. So it's something that we need.
Mhm.
And I've heard, I love to study about cannabis, and out in Jamaica, they actually make a tea out of the leaves and feed it to the babies, and like, it helps them, with their immune system and everything. So
Yeah, that's a wonderful plant. Hey, so can you tell us a little bit more about Dr. Brokeleg and how he came up with this? Like, do you know a little backstory behind what was he doing? And he was just all of a sudden like Slactavis is and RSO oil is gonna be the new thing.
So Slactavis, we are a play on activists, if you guys know what that is, high
Yeah,
tech and
that act.
that real act, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And a lot of people, I've had a lot of people like, man, this shit ain't the real stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm just looking at them like, it ain't, but you're gonna feel high just like you're gonna feel just, on your same act, even when you're drunk, which we're trying to be the opioid killer. And we're not trying, we're actually doing it now. Because there's a lot of people who are understanding when they actually drink a cup of Slactavis that is actually helping them. We want to create a culture to where it's fun to drink us and all that, but we also want the soccer mom who's taking their kid to practice to be using it. Like, after a long day, the guy that's doing a jujitsu roll for, 3, 4 hours, and then they take their Slactavis. It's to help the people and to really bring back health to people. And just like you said before, there's a lot of people who don't, exercise and things like that. So if we can give them a way to kind of create a lifestyle where it's based around, being healthy, then I'd want to be fully a part of that. And so Dr. Brokelig himself, you know, he used to know people that drank activists. And so, you know, him being a lifelong cannabis and RSO advocate, he created something that, you know, nobody else did, and just, you know, an idea. And he wanted to make sure that he spread it to everybody. And that's why we always try to have a flavor for everybody. And we will be releasing more flavors to you people soon.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, no pro co. You know, no promethazine, no codeine,
Yep.
and it's real. Like what change that made on people's lives
Mhm.
for real when cannabis or like drink like syrup came out, because codeine was going crazy, promethazine, like all of that, and there's a lot of people, especially young people, that went down because of it, and it's unnecessary. Like you could just be drinking this
Yeah.
this tree lean, and,
And you be
and you
good.
gonna be good. Like you don't need it. And I mean the medicine is stronger with they, but what you drink, you know, of course, because it's some old like stuff they made in the lab, but I think it ain't worth risking your life. You know, you might as well just drink some tree lean, try it out. And you probably gonna like it if you want to get slowed up.
Yeah, we got to think about it like this. I mean, just like we're trying to make the culture of being healthy, and again, not trying, we're making the culture of being healthy and, you know, using Slactavis weight, whether people want to call us, you know, this, that, and the other. This is a plant that helps people, and it's going to continue to help people. And so if we keep on pushing in that direction, we're going to definitely turn some heads. And but we also got to show them that, you know, we're not just out here running around getting high for our own benefit. We want to make sure that we're connecting with a lot of the people that are outside of the cannabis space. Um, Veterans and you know, like I said, people who, you know, are going through things that, you know, they need a voice. And, you know, cannabis does bring a lot of people to give them that voice.
Mm,
I don't think a lot of people realize that.
yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so tell us about the earlier days of Slacktivist and what that was like, you know, battling that type of field, you know, and that type of time where it was way different regulations going on.
So I'm originally from California. Prop 215 days, we're always gonna miss them. But that's when it was the Wild West, and we were running around, you know, doing shows, and you know, when it was a gray market, you know what I mean, more than anything. And it really gave us the know-how of now to how to move in the market. And like I said, we're still learning every single day. I feel like, you know, every day we are learning more. There's more, you know, more cannabinoids being found out on
Mm,
specialties on what they actually do. So I like that a lot too, you know what I mean? And THCV, you have your, you know, new ones that are coming out. And like I said, they're not new, but they're actually diving deeper into them because now they're actually allowed to research them in colleges. And, you know, shout out to the people out at UNLV. We were part of the instatement of the endocannabinoid system over there at you know, that you can take a course now, and the nurses now are learning about it, and it's something for years that they should have been knowing about.
mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That was part of that.
yeah, it was a great part. I loved it. And
Okay.
yeah.
So what's the name? What does Slacktivist mean to you?
Hmm. Well, going back to what you were saying earlier, is what a life in the day of Slacktivist looks like. Slacktivist means to me, once again, helping people and again creating a change. If we're not one of the only syrups on the market that is RSO based, we are the only. And, you know, we have been for a 10-year now. And so we're going to continue to, again, keep on advocating for health. You know, we've done a women's breast cancer event where we spoke, and now it's propelling us into different places. And we want to make sure, like I said, to make sure we have people understand what Slacktivist is, not just we're another product. We're something that is going to help everybody because, you know, let's face it, everybody who uses cannabis, wants to say recreational or not, everybody's using this plant for a medical reason.
Yeah, it's always medical. Can you say whatever you want to say, recreational, but it's always, no matter what, gonna benefit you in one way or another. But there is, you know, you can't abuse it. But anyway, you know, when you whatever way you ingest it is doing something to your body, that's good. Hey, on a side note, what you feel about the old THCA hemp ban thing or whatever?
It's gonna change a lot of things, definitely. that's why we've always loved to have an RSO product. Like I said, since we are full spectrum, I
That
believe,
separates y'all from the rest of the pack like that. Okay.
yeah. So we want to make sure that we keep on pushing that, but we also want to make sure that you know everybody that's in cannabis, we need to stick together and figure out ways that we can continue to push this plant in ways to help everybody. Like I said, there's a you know cannabinoid for everybody, and there's a terpene for everybody, and that's why you start having people, really use this plant in different ways, and you can kind of start pushing it. And like I said, like deeper diving into that. So and learning ourselves. There's people who've been in cannabis for years that are starting to learn even more about the plant because again, we're getting this, actual medical research from these actual colleges that are doing, studies on them. And, it's been years where we couldn't do that before. And all because of,
The restricted research. I mean, it's hundreds of properties, hundreds of compounds in that one plant. It's crazy, man. But we'll see what the future holds for it. But we definitely need to build unity through community. So let me
I
let
like
me
that.
ask you this: where can the people find the good Slactavis at in Vegas?
Out here in Vegas, you can find us at the Cannabis Company. They're going to be downtown in the Arts District, and we really love the people over there. They're owned by Nature's Chemistry, and they, really like to put on a good show for everybody. Make sure that they are very welcoming. Every time I've done a pop up there, all the bud tenders that are there, they're making sure that they're talking to the people and really getting them educated. And they really love Slactavis as well, because they also run into the problem with people, their own patients that are scared of the syringe. And, because you don't know what you're looking at when you first see it, you know what I mean? Especially if you're a new cannabis user.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, bringing that different delivery system, it really helps out some people. So, like I said, the Cannabis Company and also Inyo Cannabis, one of our other favorites. We're going to be spreading here soon into some other ones, but Inyo Cannabis is caters to a lot of different people. When I was over there, a lot of Hispanic speaking people, which is another thing I kind of want to touch base on. Where we're pushing as well is we want to make sure that we have our Hispanic brothers and sisters out here
Mm.
knowing exactly what's going on with the RSO because a lot of them get scared from the old stigmas that are from Mexico and things and all. Like, it used to be a big old drug trade, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's it was demonized. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we want to be able, to push it to the old abuelitas, the tíos, and the tías that need that help. And hey, let me give you a little bit of this, grandma. Like, oh, what does it do? Here's a flyer that's in Spanish from Slactavis telling you what the benefits of RSO are. And like we're gonna continue to keep on doing that, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe even further down the line, people who are, natives from Asia or, natives from, countries that don't speak English. Anybody can be part of Slactavis, and that's what we want to continue to do because Simpson Oil is something again that was also demonized, but we also know the health benefits that come with it,
Mm-hmm.
from the community, and it's the outside people that they know too, and that's why they try to push us down. But it's okay, like I said, as we keep on doing this, and yourself as well with everything we're doing. I appreciate you inviting us out to the show. Like, I think if we just keep going with God, and then we're gonna keep winning anyway. So.
Oh, that's always a good way to go if you're going
That's
with
it.
God. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Shout out to the Cannabis Co. and Inyo. So you can find your Slacktivist up in there. Make sure y'all trap in. I think y'all got some good type of deals going on too. Don't you got some type of
Oh,
uh
we got a nightclub experience giveaway
yeah.
that we're doing there. You can go to the Cannabis Company and go and enter that raffle by buying a Nature's Chemistry product and a Slactavis product. So make sure you head down there. You're gonna get a nightclub experience for only seen by Slactavis and done by Slactavis, and you're gonna get yourself a 2 bottles, 10 friends. Come out with us. You'll get a golden ticket, and let's see what it goes. And, maybe you're saving it for a birthday or anniversary or something. You know what I mean?
Okay. What's been the feedback, man, when you go up in there? Like the people talking about when they get that Slacktivist?
They really love it, honestly. When we do these tastings, a lot of people are surprised that we're out here, I think. And we're happy about that, like I said. And they're actually they taste it, and the people who haven't tasted and just heard about it, they're like, "Wow," like, and that really brings, like, a spark to me and kinda keeps my drive going as well, you know?
Mhm.
I like that a lot, and, you know, like I said, our flavors out right now are lemonade and grape, which are, absolutely delicious, and
Deliciosa.
we're gonna keep on releasing more flavors. Our next ones to come are, what we're, do a little teaser for you, but it's gonna be watermelon, and we're gonna do
Oh.
a bubble gum next as well.
Oh, dang, okay. More flavors in the now and later.
You feel me? Trying.
So for the people in the back, the new people that's want to get on, like how do you how would what recommendations do you make on the dosing, like how to do it properly so they don't get too zoinked out?
So our dosage, our actual bottles are 100 milligrams per 1 ounce, which makes us the strongest in the valley right now of full spectrum RSO syrup. Uh, our and it's easy for you guys. We're going to be doing some videos for you guys as well, but the cap full is our dosing. So
Mm.
a full cap is about 10 milligrams.
Okay, that's good to
So
know.
that way you can, do, drink as you please. And remember, you can always take more, but you can never take less.
What's a common mistake that you see people usually do?
I
You
don't
know.
I don't think a mistake is, but I think it's funny when people drink it because they don't understand what it is yet. So they're like just drinking it, having a good time. And I'll have people come back to the booth, man, I always smoke and I do all, I take dabs on all this. And I don't know why I was feeling kind of like loose, man. Kind of good. I look at my cup and I'm just like, oh yeah,
It's
you
the
got
Slactavis.
Slactavis. So I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, man, you want another cup? They're like, no, I'm good. And every time we do it, we try to make sure we stay safe with people and get them to 10 to 20 milligrams. You know what I mean? So they're not getting too high dosage.
Okay, in your experience and also with dealing with a lot of people that drink it, how long do you think it take to kick in on a general basis?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it kind of goes how how fast people's metabolism is. And I think a lot of people forget about that. But I've had people come back to me within 5 to 10 minutes. And I tell them like there's people that are like, is this really gonna work? And I'm all like, do you have any kind of pain anywhere? And they'll be like, I have back pain and like my feet always hurt and stuff like that. And you'll have people come back and be like, bro, like not even joking, like not placebo or anything, like 15 minutes, like I feel good, bro. Like and I'm like, yeah, that's what we're here to do, man. We're here to help you guys. And they're like, where can we find you? And so it becomes very engaging. And, I like being on the ground floor and make sure, I'll set up tables, I'll do what it takes so that way we can keep on pushing and make sure that people kind of really get the face of what Slactavis is, which is Rick Simpson oil.
Mhm. And good old Rick Simpson will put you down.
And Broke Leg himself uses it because, he's a, pro BMXer and, he's a professional driver now as well. And
Yeah, I
he's done,
seen that.
oh man.
Yeah.
So he's always got
Crazy.
his pains and everybody, the slack of it, like keeps him going, man.
Yeah.
You keep on looking at his Instagram, Dr. Broke Leg, you'll always have something fun to look at. And he's always somewhere. So, we're going to keep on doing that. And we're in Vegas as well, not just Vegas, but we're in California. We're also in New York as well. And we're
Mhm.
over there with the Seneca tribe. Shout out. We're gonna be at MJBizCon this week. So we're gonna be doing interviews out there too. And MJBizCon is coming this week. We're gonna be doing the Canalux as well. That's gonna be fun for us. Shout out to Delaney for hooking us up with that. And Vanessa, we appreciate you.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, shout out them people. Hey, so I want to ask you too, do you see people using it more on a recreational level or medicinal level?
I see a lot of people using it on the recreational level, but once they start using it, they're like, "Wow, this is helping me in a different way," and that's why we're really pushing the RSO. Like, people are like, "Oh, wow!" Like, I'll have a lot of people when I explain it to them, they're like, "Oh, it's made with RSO," like whoever they're with or what, you know what I mean? And so it's something that's still being pushed newly because there's a lot of people who don't know what it is still. And then you have to break it down what RSO is, and they'll be like, "Well, is this gonna work?" And I'm like, "This is gonna help you with your pain." I've had women tell me that it helps them with their cramps. I had a 86-year-old veteran, and he was a Marine veteran. He would never get out of bed or anything, and he started drinking the Slactavis and started driving again and everything. And
Mm.
this is old man, old man.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to the veterans as well.
Shout out the vets.
You know, you got to.
Are there any myths or misconceptions about the syrup style cannabis? Y'all, you like to like clear it up. Like, nah, like this is let us know something that might be misconstrued.
Hey, that we are regulated here in the state of Nevada and Vegas, and any shops that want to be, have Slactavis in their stores, you let us know, and we'll be right there. We're going to be doing a big push and make sure that everybody who wants the opportunity to have us in their store will have them, in their stores. We're going to be also, trying to do some higher milligram and stuff out here as well.
Okay, are y'all working with any people in the music industry?
Yeah, actually, we used to have a collaboration, and we still do with Benny the Butcher. Uh,
Hey, that's dope.
So that one was a good one with us, and we have a lot of connections to the music industry. To be honest with you, right now we're just kind of keeping it more local feel, and like I said, doing the whole double cup and all that. We know it brings a culture. We want to make it look cool, like I said, which we always do, but also let people know like this is also like a health based product. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let's get a little into the business aspect of things. So, as part owner in the Las Vegas market, how would you describe like your day to day responsibilities?
So I always make sure we get up and answer everybody that we need to, take care of meetings, see the calendar and see what's going on with that. And right now we're doing a huge marketing on the stores that we're in. We don't want to spread too fast, too quickly. We are starting to now, but we want to make sure that the stores that we are in that we cater to and make sure that it's not going to just be a one runoff. I think that's very important to me.
It is important.
You know what I mean?
Okay. What are some things you had to learn the hard way about the cannabis industry?
That it chews people up and spits them out and doesn't let them, doesn't let up, honestly. And the people who have been in it for a long time, kudos to them, because, it's brought a lot of people to their knees, to be honest with you. And like, I've heard people who have been in the cannabis industry and they're just like, oh, I'm good. Like, I worked in it and I'm never going to work in it again. And I'm just like,
I heard that too a lot.
you know what I mean? And you're just like, man. But I think that's where the love of the plant comes in. Just like you have, I'm sure you've had your ups and downs and all arounds with cannabis. And, it's still something that we're doing to this day. And we truly know and believe that it helps people. And it's for a bigger reason than ourselves. If you believe in, your past generations of people that are, that lived before you, you know what I mean? It's kind of a beautiful thing where it's like, man, I'm sure one of my ancestors was a medicine man or something.
Real talk.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I feel you on that all the way. All right, then. In your opinion, what makes a brand last in this industry versus ones that just sputter out?
A big thing that I think that really helps brands is connecting to the people. The only thing that really sells your product and like what moves this industry is the people that are behind it, buying it.
Mm-hmm.
And if once they connect to the actual culture of everything, it'll be a better look. And that's where it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier when we were talking about having that kind of symphony of somebody who understands the plant but also understands the business side of things. You know what I mean? You can't have a 80-year-old, person who's never been in cannabis or anything like that try to run a cannabis business, or people who want to see that green rush and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm going to get in cannabis because, but we've had people that are in business on the business side of things and then they get to understand the plant and then have the love for it. But if you're just looking for money in this industry, you're not gonna find it here. You're gonna find it, but you're gonna have to work for it honestly and put some man hours in. And because everybody's connected in this industry, like for one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That's true.
wholeheartedly believe that I've traveled, been very blessed to travel because of cannabis, from water to water. And like, there's a lot of people who know each other and you start being like, oh, you know this person? Oh, okay. And, shout out to everybody, Missouri, Boston, New Jersey, New York, Florida. We out here. Slactavis, and definitely California.
That cannabis is a great community that just connects everybody. Okay, what kind of in-store demos, pop-ups, or community events have you been doing with Slactavis lately?
So we're really trying to do a big push on the nightlife stuff as well, and kind of cater to the Las Vegas and make sure that we are part of the events that are outside of cannabis because we love doing our cannabis events, but we don't want just the demographic of people who are in cannabis using our product because they already know about us, and once we're in the stores and all that, they're going to know it. But you want the people who are still cannabis users knowing about your brand, and until we get to the point where we have all of our billboards and everything, then I want to hit the ground floor and do a lot of guerrilla marketing and make sure people kind of can taste us and get us right in their hand. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, that's one of the best ways to do it.
Mhm.
That's the only ways you can. That's the only way you can beat like the big corporations, the guerrilla marketing
Always,
in the field. Like that's because they up in there and they got their whole team. Like, but they don't see what you see. They see a different view, but I feel like in the ground level, that's where you really get like the raw data,
yeah,
of what's really
of what
going
people are
on.
saying because you're asking them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You can go out and play and ask them how do you like this product? Do you
Yeah,
know what RSO is? And
yeah.
the people when they do, they light up and they're like, "This is made with RSO,"
Hmm.
and it's just like it's beautiful. I like that.
Okay, any collabs or activations that you excited to talk about or
Right now, it's kind of early, but we're gonna be doing something with Golden State Banana here soon, hopefully.
shout out GSB?
And we're trying to work out the kinks on that. But to have a banana flavor out here with them would be a beautiful operation, I think. And they're long time legacy brands just like ourselves, and we want to make sure that we kind of want to keep on pushing with people like that. Uh, Boulevard as well. We might do something with them coming up here soon, so I'm excited about that as well. And a lot of people, like you said, bringing that unity through community is what we really want to do. That's why Slactavis always tries to come with open arms, making sure that we always show love where we can, and make sure that again we're doing this for the patients more than anybody.
Okay, I guess that kind of like because I was gonna ask you like, where do you think like drinkables, or syrup TAC, where that lands in the future? Like, how's that looking in the future?
I think that a lot of people are starting to use it more. Like I want to get through to the people that yeah, sometimes you can't smoke everywhere where you go, and having this in your pocket and taking a little sip, can help you stay, slacktivated all day and, kind of keeping yourself medicated. Once again, we don't want to use cannabis as an exit drug. We want to use cannabis as a daily usage so that way we can stay, just like you're working out, you want to use a little bit of cannabis, and a little bit goes a long way.
It sure does.
You
When
know
you
what I
know
mean?
how to really medicate it right, yeah, for sure. So, do you see more people getting into drinking edibles in the future? Then,
I do believe that
mm,
a lot of people are still always gonna wanna smoke because it's the act of it, just like anybody. But just like people smoke every day, people drink every day too, you know what I mean? So you can just put a little bit in your cup, or whatever you wanna put it in your iced tea. That's what's great about this. That's why we are releasing more flavors. So, you got a hot cocoa, we wanna have an horchata mix for you. You know what I
mm,
mean? Which you've
mhm.
had in the past in California, and shout out to everybody who helps us out there. Shout out to Dr. Brokeleg. Shout out to, the whole team. Shout out to the Slactavis Cowboy as well.
What's the next 3 to 5 years looking like for Team Slacktivist in Nevada? Or Nevada.
Nevada. So our goal is to just keep on pushing hard and being genuine, honestly. Making sure that the people know what RSO is, educate the people, really kind of create a structure around doing shows, maybe even doing pop-ups at like farmers markets and things like that to get our brand out. We want to make sure that we hit, the older people as well because they're the ones who need it the most right now, because they have that mindset that cannabis is still, a demonized thing. And I mean, I know that we have a lot of older folks that do come into the stores, and I love that. You know what I mean? Because you get a chance to talk to them, and they're the ones who know about RSO the most. And when they don't, and they learn about it, they're like, "Oh my goodness!" So I think that's a big thing for us. So in the next 5 years, we definitely want to keep on making sure that we make a big presence out here in Vegas. But we also want to make sure that we're opening up and franchising in other states, and we have a lot of connections in other places too, where we want to even expand outside of the country. And so that's definitely going to be Slactavis Global is going to be something that we're going to always be looking into as well.
All right, man. Look, I think we covered a lot, man. Y'all need to go ahead and get some Slactavis RSO oil up in that thing, man, and how
Yes,
you
sir.
slur it up.
A big thing too that we're going to be doing in the month of January, at the end of January, we're going to be doing a benefit for special needs children. We're going to be hooking up with one of the organizations out here, and we really want to bring.
Which organization is that? Can you tell, or is that?
Right now we're still working on the kinks on who it is, but they help out a lot of people. They're like a sports center, and I'm getting over there and trying to talk with them.
Okay.
So that way we can make sure we help those people that can't help themselves. I think that helping the homeless, which we've done before in the past, we've done benefits, we've done foods, but I'm actually a child of a family that has a mentally challenged person. My sister's mentally challenged, and she's special needs, and I want to make sure that people understand how hard it is to come from a family like that. And that's a big reason why it keeps me pushing for cannabis as well, because the pharmaceutical companies aren't always on our best interest when it comes to helping anybody, honestly.
Yeah.
And I can say that
Facts.
I can say it boldly just because of what happened to my sister back in the day, where she now has diabetes because of some pharmaceutical pills that she was taking. And so I'm a big believer of holistic health, and making sure
Me too.
our body can work and fix itself as long
Yes,
as we
sir.
take care of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you on.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
just got to keep on going, man. And so that benefit we're going to be doing, I want to make sure that we aren't just helping the kids, but the families that are needing that help. Especially being the beginning of the year, we want to make sure that we can get some haircuts done for them and everything. And so it's going to be nice.
I like that a lot. Anything else you want to shout out? What about these events right here? You want to talk about that at all?
Yeah. So December 4th, we're gonna be at We All Scream and Disco Pussy downtown, having after parties for MJBizCon, which we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier. And man, it's gonna be a good party. We want everybody to come out and kind of find out what Slactavis and the Creamery is as well, which is our lab out in California. We do a lot of toll processing out there. Probably, approximately about 1,000 to 3,000 pounds a day we're running out there. So shout out to the Creamery team out there. Much love to them for always, supporting us, and, making sure that once we come out here and we start toll processing as well, we start doing the same thing and helping these companies really get some good concentrates out here. It's all hydrocarbon extraction. So, we make sure we do a good job on that. They're also going to be speaking out there. Shout out to Mike Gnarly. Shout out to Jordan. Just keep on going.
What for the people in the back? What's hydro? What'd you say? Carbon extraction? Hydrocarbon?
Hydrocarbon extraction.
What's that?
So you know what? I'm gonna save that one for Mike, because he's gonna be speaking at MJBizCon. For anybody who's not gonna be, going out there, I'll give you a little quick overview. But it's one of the best extraction processes, in my opinion, to actually create butane hash oil, which is what your BHO is.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah. All right, where can the people find you at?
So we are at once again the Cannabis Company and Inyo Cannabis, and make sure you come out there and grab it. Grab a few bottles. We got our lemonade and our grape. They mix pretty much good with anything. Shout out Sprite, because we always buying you guys up. Hopefully we get a sponsorship soon.
No, I mean your Instagram, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
IG.
Las Vegas _Slactavis. Once again, that's Las Vegas _Slactavis. SLACTAVIS.
All right, man. Hey, look, thank you for coming on the show and educating us about the RSO, the brand.
Thank you, sir.
I see y'all doing big things out here, and definitely see Golden State, collabing with y'all, man, because y'all already had a collaboration
We
in
did.
California.
Yeah, we want to make sure we
know?
bring it out here.
Yeah, just bring it back. Yeah.
We got to run it back from, you know what I mean? Get the banana cream going, I think it'll be good.
Yeah, man. It will definitely be good. Well, hey, y'all got it was Tony here.
Yes, sir.
Slactavis.
Hey, we appreciate you.
I appreciate you for coming on the show, man. And I appreciate y'all for tapping in with the with the trap advisor, man. Hey, man, look, blame it on Tony, man. He got me up over here on this damn Slactavis, man. Total, man.
We have to leave him a few bottles for your tia and all them, so they make sure they get some rest.
All right, y'all, trap in, man. This been your boy Poncho Gas, man, and Slactavis.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace.